The judges just handed out an Olympic gold medal they had no right to give. Three-time world champions Madison Chock and Evan Bates missed the top spot by 1 point. 4-3. They had to settle for silver while France walked away with the gold. The baffling part is that the French squad stumbled through visible errors while Chock and Bates delivered a near-perfect run, yet the scorecards still favoured France. It borders on criminal. A judge from France awarded his own nation a score nearly 8 points higher than what he gave the Americans. Music, 8 points. In a game of inches decided by fractional decimals, a single judge manufactured an 8-point cushion that completely flipped the script. 5 out of the 9 officials actually scored Chock and Bates as the winners. The majority saw the Americans as the clear victors, but that solitary massive tilt in the scores weighed down the entire result. Thousands have already put their names on a change.org petition, demanding an immediate investigation into the events of Wednesday night, February 11th, 2026. Chock and Bates hit the ice first. They skate to Paint It Black from the Westworld soundtrack, a dark, dramatic flamenco-inspired powerhouse of a routine that had the crowd clapping in rhythm. Every motion is locked in sync, showcasing 15 years of partnership. The twizzles are razor-sharp. The lifts look effortless. This is their final Olympic bow, and they are leaving absolutely everything on that ice. Then the finish. Evan Bates is fighting back tears. On NBC, Johnny Weir sums it up perfectly: 15 years of grit and grind for one singular night of perfection. They skate off to a standing ovation and a score of 134.67, a season best. Silver is locked in, but the gold hangs on what France does next. Laurence Fournier Beaudry and Guillaume Cizeron take the stage to Madonna's Vogue. Then, disaster strikes. During the twizzle sequence, there is a visible stumble. Everyone saw it. Marco Fabbri, an Italian competitor in the same event, did not mince words afterward. I usually prefer Guillaume and Laurence, but today, in my opinion, they did not skate so well. The judges simply did not care. France takes the win with a total score of 225.82. The United States ended with 224.39. The gap was a mere 1.43. Chock and Bates stand there stone-faced, watching their Olympic dream evaporate. It wasn't a lack of skill. It was because one judge decided to hand-wrap a gift for his home country. So how does a flawless American lose to a French routine riddled with errors? Madison Chock and Evan Bates tied the knot in 2024. They have been partners on the ice since 2011, capturing 3 consecutive world titles in 2023, 2024, and 2025. Unbeaten on the world stage for 3 years, this marked their 4th Olympics as a duo and Evan's 5th overall. Their teammate Amber Glenn even calls them Mr. and Mrs. America. They had already secured team gold earlier in the Games. Individual gold was the only accolade missing from their resume, and everyone knew this was their last shot at glory. The rhythm dance on Monday night had already raised eyebrows. Chock and Bates scored an 89.72 despite skating the exact same routine for a 91 point. 0.6 in the team event. That is nearly a 1.5 point difference for an identical performance. Evan Bates noted afterward that he felt they skated even better than they did in the team event, but the judges clearly disagreed. Fournier, Beaudry and Cizeron were awarded a 90.18, putting them 0.46 ahead going into Wednesday. On NBC, Scott Hamilton admitted he was shocked and never saw that coming. But the free skate on Wednesday is where the real scandal unfolded. The scorecard from the French judge was a massive statistical outlier, scoring France nearly 8 points higher than the United States. The Spanish judge handed Chock and Bates their lowest marks of the night. Why is that relevant? The Spanish team trains at the Ice Academy of Montreal, the same facility as the French squad. They share the same coaches Marie-France Dubreuil, Patrice Lauzon, and Romain Hagenoa. Accusations of strategic lowballing started flying immediately. 5 of the 9 judges favoured the Americans, but ice dance scoring relies on weighted averages, and that single extreme outlier from the French judge skewed the final tally by 1 point. 4-3. And here is the context that makes the whole thing look suspicious. Fournier, Beaudry and Cizeron only partnered up in 2025, giving them just 1 year together. Both arrive with controversial histories. Fournier Beaudry's former partner was banned for 6 years over sexual maltreatment allegations, while Cizeron's ex-partner wrote a memoir accusing him of being controlling and manipulative. They are competing against a duo with a 15-year partnership and 3 world titles under their belts. Both teams train at the same facility and share the same coaches. Now, Chock and Bates have to watch the team that snatched their gold medal at practice every single day. Here is what makes this entire situation feel so wrong. The reaction was instantaneous. Social media exploded with robbery trending worldwide. The Change.org petition demanding an investigation gathered thousands of signatures within hours. The skating community was furious. People from all over the globe called it exactly what it was: theft. Lucas Weiss, reporting for The Athletic, did not hold back, stating he felt the emotion and performance quality of Chock and Bates was simply higher. The crowd agreed. The judges, however, saw it differently. Marco Fabbri, the Italian ice dancer, went public with his take. I usually prefer Guillaume and Laurence, but today, in my opinion, they didn't skate so well. A rival athlete questioning the results. That rarely happens unless the error is undeniable. Even broadcasting legend Scott Hamilton was left stunned on air. As a former Olympic gold medalist, he knows a controversy when he sees one. Throughout the chaos, Madison Chock and Evan Bates maintained absolute class. They stood on that podium with stone-cold expressions, forced to watch France snatch the gold that was mere inches from their grasp. Madison later remarked, "Sometimes that is just how it shakes out," while Evan noted, "It is a subjective sport, a judged game, but we left everything out there. We skated our absolute best. No finger-pointing, no rage, just quiet acceptance." When asked about a return, Madison offered a heartbreaking shake of her head. Evan stated, "Not right now." It felt like their final Olympic glory was effectively stolen, but the issue runs much deeper. Figure skating has a notorious history of nationalist judging, and this instance was flagrant. A mere 1.43 points separated gold from silver. One single judge inflated the score for his own country by nearly 8 points. You do the math. Strip away that bias and Chock and Bates are the champions. It brings back memories of the Salt Lake City scandal in 2002 that revolutionized the sport. That year, a French judge confessed to being pressured into voting for Russia, forcing a complete overhaul of the scoring system. They introduced anonymous judging and random selection specifically to prevent the exact scenario that just unfolded in Milan. Will the International Skating Union launch an inquiry, or is this destined to be swept under the rug? These are 3-time world champions partners for 15 years and the clear favourites going in. They delivered a nearly flawless routine, yet lost to a team that has been together for just 1 year, not due to skill, but because one judge tipped the scales. This was their time, their final Olympics, the perfect capstone to a legendary career. Instead, they watched someone else live out their dream, determined not by performance on the ice, but by politics at the judges' table. So, do you believe Chock and Bates were robbed of their title? Sound off in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for the latest updates from the Games. Catch you in the next one.